great. So right now I am being joined by three awesome people. So starting with Mike Hume, who's the General Manager for Digital and App Innovation, Mandy Whaley in the middle, who's the Director of Product Management, and Joe Binder, who's a Partner Director of Product for Azure DevTools. Hey y'all, how are you doing?
Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Glad to be here.
Thanks for coming. Day 3, bright and early in the morning.
That's right. Home stretch.
Yep, home stretch. So we're going to be talking about a cool topic. So AI app platform predominantly, right?
Yep.
And Scott Guthrie's keynote yesterday, we heard a lot about how that platform is elevating the dev experience. So can you tell us a little bit more about what's new and what's changed, Mike?
Yep, absolutely. So, I think what we're seeing is that all of that energy and excitement that led to this incredible experimentation over the last year, all of that is now starting to translate to apps that are moving to production. And so that puts really different requirements on our customers and different demands on vendors like us that are trying to help everyone move to that state of production. So what you saw out of that keynote was, how can we really help developers deliver on the expectations that they're facing now? We see these forecasts that say that 1 billion new applications are going to be written by 2028, and that's a huge demand on the developer base. So what we want to do is we want every developer to feel like they can be productive, that they can move fast, that they can have access to all the right services, whether that's a wide range of models, the right kind of data sources, other services that may come from our ISV partners, and all the things that they need to really be productive. And we want that to happen in the tools that they're already using, the tools that they love, and the skills that they already have. So one of the things I love is, we brought out all these great products, but also there's really an interesting sort of thread through all of that. There's really how we're doing it, which is, deeper and more meaningful integrations between our flagship products, whether that's apps, data, AI, or dev, or extensibility into our third-party services from our ISVs. But there's also the ways that we're taking AI and really embedding it into every layer of the stack. What we want is to remove friction from the application lifecycle. We want developers to be able to do things fast and know that they're building applications that are really ready for production, ready for the enterprise, that they're secure and scalable and all those things that they need. Then the last thing is that you saw where we're taking all of our best practices, all the things that we've learned by running some of the most sophisticated intelligent apps in the world and embedding that back into the products so developers can really learn from that and then really take advantage of that and move faster. So all of that is really about helping them move from this current state of experimentation into the future state of production.
That's great. Yeah, I think it's really important to remove that friction. Because for folks just entering the AI world for the first time, we want to make that experience good, right?
It's a new experience for a lot of people. It's a new set of applications, and every new wave of applications has new challenges. We also want to make it something that's really ready for the enterprise without them having to do the drudgery. We want them to know that it's secure, that it's scalable, that it has all the reliability. Because in the end, these AI apps are going to be running business services that are generating revenue or handling operations or really building that kind of customer experience that they want to make themselves more competitive.
I agree. Yeah. I love the security elements, by the way. I saw in one of the demos at the keynote yesterday, just being able to kind of toggle the severity of like profanity and violence and all these other things like user-based hacking into the model, trying to break it. So it's cool that you have that kind of fine-grained control.
It's an end-to-end focus for us, and really company-wide, we're really thinking about how we do that, and then how do we make it simple, and then how do we also help people have the right kind of control that they need within that space.
Awesome. So this next question is for Mandy, and Mike, you mentioned talking about bringing an idea that a user might have and then making it that scalable, production-ready application. So for Mandy, what have been some of the takeaways that you've gotten from customers who are working to make that transition?
Yeah, so like we were saying, it's really interesting because this is a new kind of application to build. And there's all of the same cloud application skills that you already have. Like you have to still do all the things to build a normal cloud application. But now there's this new part around like, how do I start to integrate AI? What do I need to learn that's different about working with AI and building these kinds of applications? And so what we've been working on is helping developers use all of the skills that they already have and the tools that they already work with, like VS Code, GitHub Actions, and then saying like, here's how you extend into the AI parts that are new, and kind of charting that path of like, bring the skills that you know, extend into the new part. And some of the things that have come up is like, one really interesting thing we talked about in a session yesterday is, when you start working on these applications, you need to do prompt evaluations. You need to know how your prompts are behaving. And that's a new kind of sort of testing to integrate into your application and into your CI/CD pipeline. And that's something where we showed you how you can do that with GitHub Actions, something you probably already know, but using it for this new purpose. And so I think that's where we see a lot of the questions from developers and really the industry overall figuring out is like, how do I take one of these from a proof of concept to running it in production? And what are the things I need in terms of observability, in terms of testing, in terms of user feedback? Like all of these things are really important for AI-powered applications. And those are some of the new interesting problems that we get to work on. And as someone who likes to work on developer experience, it's super exciting to have this new kind of app to like focus on and think about like, what does the developer experience look like? And then the other thing that we're doing is we showed also the GitHub Copilot for Azure extension, which we're really excited to have in private preview. And that's there because we can bring that right into your development environment in VS Code or Visual Studio. And you're able to use Copilot to help you learn about things. You're able to ask questions. And now you can ask questions specifically about Azure and your Azure resources and things like that. And then kind of putting that all together, what we've heard from customers is like, they want to get to proof of concept quickly and to a pilot and start using it and then get to production quickly. So one of the things we've been working on are these end-to-end application templates. So like RAG pattern is super popular. A lot of people are starting there to build their first AI applications. So we're building these end-to-end templates that have the application code, the infrastructure as code to easily provision everything up on Azure, and then even the GitHub Actions workflow that can help you do your deployment and also things like prompt evaluations. And then just making that where you can use all of that from within your favorite dev tool.
Awesome.
So.
First off, I got to say, I'm so excited for Copilot for Azure. Gosh, I need that in my life immediately. Can't wait to install that one. And also, I like your mantra about trying to integrate the AI capabilities that developers can do with the current experiences that they're already familiar with. I think that's just like a nice, smooth transition. Like I think about the times I personally use Copilot for things, and I'm like, I'm using it when I'm just already renaming something in VS Code, or I'm using it for generating commits and PRs, these things that I do regularly, but getting to put AI on top of that so it's not a huge learning curve.
Yeah,
so
great.
That's nice to hear. Sweet. And next question for Joe. We're going to transition a little bit into intelligent apps, which have seen a couple announcements throughout Build in the recent days. So what are the significance of some of those announcements for developers?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's been so much announced over the past couple days. The things that I'm most excited about are actually the tools. You know, I think we spend a lot of time talking about all these new model capabilities, but as somebody who loves to write code, like actually building an app with those models is really hard. It kind of feels like trial and error. And over the last couple days, there have been several new tooling announcements for developers to really be able to build apps that use these models. A couple of my favorites, good friend 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗃. He's got a session later this morning, you should check out, that really helps us understand and treat prompts like a first-class source artifact. We can debug them, we can trace them. It's interoperable with the ecosystem like LangChain and things like that. I love that. It's made my life much easier. I've gotten my hands on it for a few months now. The other one that I'm really excited about is the VS Code AI Toolkit. And that's really a set of tools to help us use some of the models that were announced on the day one of the keynote, things like 𝗲, small language models, and be able to really explore what's possible with those models in your app. So you can fine tune them for your specific app scenario. You can run them locally on your laptop, which is super cool. I always have this GPU on my laptop, and I'm like, why can't I use this for my app development? Now you can. You can use that for testing and evaluation as well. So I just feel like we've really leveled up the developer tooling and enabled people to really explore what's possible in their apps with these models. And I'm really excited about it.
Awesome. So, Mike, over to you again.
Yep.
We have been talking a lot about Build, just the wider AI ecosystem, right? Mm-hmm. So how is what the work you three are doing factoring into the wider Microsoft AI strategy?
Yeah, so actually it's really consistent with what we were just hearing about, different tooling and of course also the templates. So, you know, the big thing is that we're really committed to giving developers the most comprehensive AI tool chain. we want to give you a complete set of services, whether those come from Microsoft or from our partners. And this is an area of just incredible innovation. It's a really dynamic market, and especially as new patterns come up, like RAG, we see a lot of innovation coming from companies that are building different services that are actually core to making those applications real and making them really powerful. So what you see here is actually some great partners we announced this week. These are all playing a key role in the intelligent applications that we want to help people bring to market. They're also ones that have built incredible bases of support within AI developers and AI engineers. So what we want to do is we want to make it easy for you to then access all of these services, give you the flexibility to work with the services that you may already be using or ones that you want to try and experiment with, and then also give you the kind of first-party or native experience within our own solutions, whether that's GitHub Copilot, whether that's Visual Studio Code, or whether that's integration with some of our platform services like Azure Container Apps. And so all of that really plays into a partner strategy and integration strategy. And then we have these great templates where we can bring it to life in the form of building blocks. So not just the basic services, but actually help you get started fast.
That's right. And we even see some of the ecosystem coming in and helping us build templates. Like Arise has been partnering with us on a template. And so we're really excited about that. And you can check out a lot of those templates if you want to try them out at aka.ms/AI-apps.
Great, cool. Way to plug it at the end. Sweet. All right. Well, thank you, Mike, Joe, and Mandy, for chatting with me today. So,
all right. Awesome.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us.